The news. That's right, patch 10.1 is now live. That is the damn news. What else do you need, people? What does that mean in terms of this week? Well, I looked again at the tweet sent out by Blizzard a while back. Let me see if I can shrink this down so you guys can actually see the entire thing without my fat head in the way. No, it makes no difference. Okay. Well, here it is. The Zarlek Caverns are now live. The patch is live. And what does that mean for this week? Well, other than Twitch drops, the cool ethereal portal toy, which is nice, new quests and adventures, cross-faction guilds, revamped item upgrade system, which is more important, I think, than people think. Valor badges are gone. Now there's like Shadow Flame crests and shit. So that's going to be a big deal for this season going forward. The thing that my head is covering right here, new factions. That's right, the Niffin. I mean, how could I cover that up? That's very important. Get new renown and rewards with the Niffin allies. Yes, very exciting. New weekly quests and activities, and new dragon riding mount, the Slither Drake. Get your Slither Drake on. The animations for this thing are really badass, actually. And then next week, of course, we know what's going to hit. The new raid, Season 2 of everything, PvP and Mythic Plus, new tier sets, and the Farak Assaults. I can't wait, man. Enough talk, enough talk. We got a guide to watch real quick, and then we're getting straight into the game. Let's see what Bellular has to say on his ultimate guide for 10.1. Here we go.
It's new patch day for many of us, but don't be overwhelmed. Today I'm going to teach you all of the things to consider doing in week 1 and all the content that you can do, with a few things tossed in if you're a performance-oriented player. And if you're watching after week 1, don't worry. This video is going to have basically everything that you need to know for this patch. With that said, let's just get straight into it with some of the core dates. Dates and content unlocks. Season 2 begins May 9th, which is next week. Some content will only start then. As per usual, that means Mythic Plus, Raid, and PvP.
Yes.
But also, what's a bit different is that Farak Assaults, they actually unlock like now, on week 1,
they changed this?
rather than when the season starts, which is great. It gives you some more to do,
some Farak
including
Assaults
a
today,
very nice transmog to hunt down and some more power to earn.
Oh, shit.
Also, unlike what we're used to, LFR Wing 1 actually does open up the same week as the other difficulty modes, which is potentially relevant to you. And that's because gear from the LFR bosses can be upgraded to mid to normal mode item level.
Xiong, thank you for the follow and welcome to our Scourge.
Using Whelp crests, which of course drop from LFR, amongst a few other things.
The Shadow Flame crests are going to be important.
Which does, I suppose, mean that the likes of LFR tier gear could be more useful, but of course, the tier bosses are not included in the first wing of LFR, so that's perhaps not particularly relevant. Though, what is relevant is, hey, our new revamped Patreon. We've got a fresh set of loot coming hot off the cool stuff we did with the coin last month. So
Bellular
always has
great loot for his
We're
Patreon.
bringing back the Lore Walking podcast very, very soon with an episode on Neltharion.
Oh, shit.
We've got multiple behind-the-scenes videos
check that out.
If you kind of like bonus segments, bonus videos on topics like the backside of Azeroth and some bizarre stuff with maps coming up soon.
The backside of what
from
now?
me, videos on how we work, early access content, and more. And as time goes on, I'll be putting as much as I can into what we're doing for members, so you can hop aboard at that link down below.
Nice.
Next, though, let's talk about upgrades. So, if you already know about the upgrade system,
this is one of the biggest changes
this chapter of the video. And if you want an in-depth guide, we'll be publishing ours tomorrow. TLDR though, you earn things called flight stones by doing just about anything in the game. These are uncapped, but you can only hold 2,000 at once. You then earn crests, which are a little bit more useful, powerful, you could say, by doing just some higher activities, be that dungeon, raid, also some weekly activities, that kind of thing. Just basically look at the gear that you get in the patch, look at its tooltip. The upgrade vendor will tell you what you need to upgrade it. It's very simple, and you'll learn more in this video.
We gotta get our Shadow Flame crest.
The only exception to this is PvP gear, which stays with the new system as of Season 1 of Dragonflight. Okay, the campaign then. So, unlike the last campaigns that we had, this is not tied to Renown, though we're still not 100% sure on its release schedule. Likely it won't all come out at once, of course.
Okay.
Now, this does have some fairly good rewards.
There's a lot of it to do today, though.
Most steps contain plenty of Niffin rep, which is the new Renown bar.
Yeah, I saw that, Sam.
Also,
I think I might check it out at some point.
The fourth leg of the campaign is what gets you the new Slither Drake Dragon Riding Mount, and then week 5 gets you a Transmog Ensemble plus a Drake Crest.
A very nice
with
transmog.
The final non-epilogue campaign, it's the one that gets you to go and kill Sarkareth, that actually gets you a Worm Crest. Okay, now that you've got all the core knowledge, let's talk about useful catch-up. Now is the perfect time to get your alt characters up to speed with the new gearing system. So, the Explorer and Adventurer labeled gear that you'll be getting from the world content this week can be upgraded all the way to item level 398 by only using Flight Stones.
That's not
right?
bad,
Which means, basically, you can just go and grind it. There's a real nice element
you could make
to this
an alt
as well.
today and
Your
grind
highest item level in each slot is essentially tracked game-wide, account-wide. And if your alt's item level in that slot is below your mains, then the cost of the upgrade in Flight Stones is actually halved, which is just amazing. What a great system. Beyond that, then, you will need
the more geared your main is, the easier it is to gear out your alts.
You can earn a few, and you'll learn that later in this video. Another thing, then, is crafted gear. So, this patch adds the new Titan Training Matrix 5, which, unlike the version 4 that we had in the last patch, it's not an RNG drop. They're actually made by enchanters at the cost of 150 Flight Stones.
Kind of sad, my jewel crafting is just not as cool as it was last patch.
Everyone can just get this gear because it
now enchanters are the cool rep to do.
So, that's another nice little bit of catch-up for your alt characters. And now that we've covered that bit of catch-up, let's talk about things to do. Time to learn about the entire Zaralek Cavern. It's WoW's big new zone, and even alts can fly straight into it without any prerequisite questline or anything like that. So let's break down the content, which all surrounds the new Niffin reputation. So, they've got a big weekly quest, a worthy ally, and it's just a bit like aiding the Accord. You fill up the bar. Now, when you do that, you'll get reputation, about 1,500 gold, 200 flight stones with a chance of more, some gear, and a dig map. That dig map will let you go sniffin' seeking. More on that later. It'll get you some gear and nice rewards. And this weekly quest unlocks after you've done the first campaign chapter.
I'm going to do the whole thing.
Itself, we've got the usual smattering of rares and treasures, with those rares actually appearing on your world map and having similar HP to those of the Forbidden Reach, which actually was all paced out to be a surprisingly compelling little
I wonder how long it's going to take
back then. Now, you'll want to do these, of course, for the unique rewards and the flight stones. But on top of that, we've actually got a new wide range of public events. These spawn in regularly. You'll see them marked on your map with an icon, and those icons appear 60 seconds before the event starts. These are quite varied, and doing them will get you either a blue or a purple bag of loot. Now, these bags of loot contain between 5 and 15 flight stones, depending on the quality, some Niffin rep, and very importantly, unearthed fragrant coins. Now, these coins are really useful, so
wait a minute, how does he PTR, I guess. He's got the sword. He's got the sword that every big boy with a one-handed weapon wants. A double-handed weapon. I need it. I need the sword.
We want them. And the reason why is these coins can be used to purchase
That's going to be like the go-to for anybody using a two-handed.
Drake crests per week. The vendor for this unlocks Renown level 4, and the game will point you toward it. Now, especially the Drake crests, those are key, because those can upgrade your gear to a maximum item level of 424, which is, I mean, pretty much the best that you can get for doing world content. The other way to get those coins, amongst some other rewards, is doing the new big weekly event, which, think about, say, the Obsidian Citadel, the Ascara Soup. It's a bit like that, but this time it's called Researchers Under Fire, and you can see its timing on your world.
Farak Assault. Okay. What is this?
So the more you participate in it, the more loot and rep you get, and this will include, rewards-wise, gear, Niffin rep, and more of those unearthed fragrant coins. And if you've got an excess of coins, you can actually get some cool things like mounts as well. Okay, but that's not all that we've got. We've got the new Sniffin' Seeking. This is really cool. It's a bit like this patch's version of the Scara Vaults from 10.0.7. Okay. Now, that big weekly quest will give you one of those maps, as I talked about earlier. You take these to the character at Merit, and then you can go seeking. Now, in total, you can get 3 maps per week.
Daily or weekly?
You get one for free. You get one for bartering, which I'll cover in a little bit, and of course, then the one for doing that weekly quest I already mentioned.
Weekly, okay.
So this is a neat little event. Basically, you just go in, you do like cool little puzzles. It's really nice. You do some puzzles, you open some chests.
Blizzard's been into puzzles lately.
Loot. With this, you can get crafting reagents, reputation, Dragon Isle supplies, Zaralek, glow spores, and a chance of getting some gear. Now, those spores, those are used in some new 10.1 crafts. Otherwise, I think they come from rare nodes. And if you don't need them, then I suppose you can always sell them in the auction house.
Nice.
But that's it, basically. You do all of your content, knock out your weeklies, and then you do your maps, which should give you a nice, healthy little injection of gear. Now, as for the bartering mechanic, the basics with that unlock at Renown 3, a bit more unlocks at Renown 12. The game will point you toward it. Basically, the bartering lets you buy a bunch of profession and cosmetic stuff, plus 1 dig map per week. Now, the currencies that are used just drop from various different
things. Oh, wow, that's a bunch of
Zaralek
Slitherdrake cosmetics that you can get.
Simple enough, really. So overall, Zaralek Cavern, it's a real big zone. You fly around it, doing your rares, doing your world quests, running into those public events, doing your big weekly, and as you do all of that, you'll get resources, which will eventually let you get those maps, which will let you go sniffing seeking to get even more pretty cool loot. But that's not all. Head back to the regular Isles, and we can do our Farak Assaults.
Yeah, this got
these are
opened up
the
this
new
week.
version
This
of
wasn't
Primal
supposed to be till next week.
But the Primal Storms actually do still spawn into the game world, which does still let you get those transmogs if you want them. Now, these Farak Assaults, they are available day 1, and they're just up in 1 zone permanently per day. So I'll just rotate about the place.
1 zone per day. Okay,
and
we'll
in terms of rewards, they're decently important for 2 reasons.
I think I saw it's the Onaharan Plains or
looks
the
like this,
Azura
which
Span.
is just sick.
Yeah, the gear looks great.
I really think it looks incredible. I want that in my characters. But also,
I gotta get that plate set.
The power rewards. So the main world quest drops, I believe, 411 gear and Drake crest fragments. The mini bosses drop some more Drake fragments as well, and I suppose a bit similar to the Storm Sigil stuff, you get an item that you can turn into a full Drake crest. And unlike the Storms, as I said, these are available all day, so you don't have to fret about if you miss it. Like with similar sorts of content, you'll just see the big map marker, fly down to that. You'll see some quests you can pick up to get some rep and resources. So there is that. But the main thing you'll be doing is the Farak Assault objective. So your overall objective is to open a Suffusion Crucible. Now, you do this by getting 5 wards of Ingara. Okay? These 5 wards can be turned into an item that creates a ward of Farak, though those can also drop from elite mobs. When you get 5 wards of Farak, you can then summon in a Forge Master by using it in one of those crucibles. When you kill the Forge Master, you will complete the overarching world quest.
It's essentially kill everything.
A bunch of rewards.
Kill everything and anything that moves in the zone.
Those Forge Masters drop ever-burning keys. Get 3 of those keys, and you can open a big loot chest to get even more rewards. And I believe that one's weekly. And also, watch for the Farak's Fury bar, because whenever that hits 100, he'll turn up, he'll do a bit of a strafing run on the area, which maybe will kill you if you stand in it, but once he's done his strafing run, a boss will spawn in. Kill that boss, and you'll get a quest that'll get you a Drake crest as well.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool. You basically just zone out, slay some mobs for a bit, which, tell you what, that sure is more engaging than the days that I spent grinding gulp frogs in the Timeless Isles. All right, now did you know about the relevant release dates, the new campaign stuff, the Zaralek Cavern and the Farak Assaults? Let's bring it all together with some end-of-week goals and things that you should consider before
what do I got to do this week? Tell me.
So number 1, obviously, do your Farak Assault weekly stuff, which is going to mean completing that world quest, opening the chest by killing 3 Forge Masters, and then defeating the boss that spawns in after Farak arrives in the scene. This will give you plenty of excellent quality world content gear, as well as flight stones and Drake crests. Then, in the cavern, do your weekly meta quest, your weekly Researchers Under Fire event. Then do the weekly enough, get enough of those coins to be able to purchase the crests from the crest vendor in the Niffin little village. Ideally, you'll also want to finish
I think he meant chest. He said buy the
2,000
crests. I think he meant chests. purchase crests from the vendor, but he's showing chests here. I'm confused. I think he means chests.
Get enough of those coins to be able to purchase the crests from the crest vendor in the Niffin little village. Ideally, you'll also want to finish this week with 2,000 crests just sitting on your character, ready to go, right before
he made a mistake there.
Season 1. It's just whenever this new season starts, and maybe I'm personally thinking about doing the new raid, doing some M+, it would be handy to just have a healthy reserve of flight stones so that I can
2,000
make my
flight
upgrades
stones
whenever I see fit. Then do the weekly quest, of course, in order to get the spark for crafting. That's similar to how you did those Trials of Tyr
Gotta upgrade my neck
back in Season 1. And once you've got your spark, remember, you'll get a new spark every 2 weeks for the duration of this whole patch.
Right.
And with that, you'll want to plan out what crafted gear you actually want to get. As an example, for many people, perhaps a one-handed weapon would be a really strong choice. So maybe having a good offhand ready would be a good thing to do. As an example, I'm a Disc Priest main, and that's probably something that I'll be thinking about for my character.
First thing I'd probably want to do, wouldn't
you
want to upgrade your neck? Everyone's using the same one pretty much. With that spark, don't waste it on the neck. It's only 424 at max. Oh, okay. Okay.
Amulet, which is still relevant. Some would say fortunately, some would say unfortunately, but here's the deal. The amulet goes up to item level 424.
Yeah.
That is, of course, by just doing all of the Scara Vault stuff and just upgrading the actual little gemstones that go into it, which is done with professions. So with this, it's excellent for some specs. Blizzard are not going to be nerfing it on start. They said they would nerf it in, I believe, patch 10.
Yeah, they're not going to nerf it, but they're not going to buff it. I think they want it to kind of fall off eventually.
The degree to which this is important for you will depend on what your spec is, but certainly if you've got a new alt, this is a big chunk of power that you will probably want. Now, on the bright side here, if you don't have this because you didn't do the patch 10.0.7 content, then don't really fret, because honestly, the Scara Vaults are really fun. They're a really cool system, actually.
Right.
And the gear tokens that you get, they'll still be useful for your alts.
Right, this thing, you can do it in one day.
On your alt, trying to power up your
I feel
amulet,
like you could do this all in one day.
You'll get those Forgotten Tomes, which
crush your
will
gems,
upgrade
get the ones that are
gear
best
that
in
you
slot.
get in the Forbidden Reach to level 395, which certainly will actually just give you a leg up in this new patch anyway. So, yeah, it is stuff from the last patch, but the last patch was, 8 weeks ago, 10 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Another thing then is just thinking about your Mythic Plus plan. And the reason why I say this is because
set up your key for next week,
different types of crest fragments depending on how hard the dungeon is.
Okay.
So
you can upgrade faster the higher you go.
This new season of Mythic Plus, keystone level to keystone level.
Because now one thing that's not tied to whether you can upgrade or not is your Raider IO or your ranking for Mythic Plus. That doesn't matter anymore. You don't have to be like 2100 to upgrade to item level 14 or 424. It doesn't matter anymore. Now you can just upgrade by doing raiding, doing whatever. You got to get the currency. That's the only thing that matters now.
Level will actually be a bit
so push
easier
higher keys
than
to
they
get
were
more
in the
currency,
previous patch,
essentially,
and
to
of
upgrade
course it'll
faster.
be a great source of the flight stones and the crests. So personally, what I'm going to do is I'll just be making a plan about how many Drake and Worm crests that I can get right now. What's important for me though is that Mythic Plus 11 to 15 earns Worm crests. Now, as somebody who is going to be initially doing normal and then heroic mode for my raiding, Worm crests are really the ones that I'm going to be caring about the most. So that will be my own personal target for Mythic Plus. But okay, there you go. A few little pointers if you want to try to super
almost
optimize.
out-geared normal.
But other than that, there's
I
loads
wonder if
in
we're
this
gonna jump
zone.
into heroic
You can
or
still
normal
go
next
do
week.
your snail racing to get some pets and mounts and all the usual stuff. Honestly, from a world content perspective, I think that they're in a pretty damn great place with this patch. And now you've seen this video, it's all demystified. So if you weren't really sure where to start, what to do, or what was even in this patch, now you know. I hope it helped. Of course, check out the channel. We will have all the content you could possibly need. Yesterday's video was on classes, so if you're still picking on a class, you don't really know what to play, you want to see what's new, you can watch
I only
that
play
video.
one class.
And of course, our big
the only class that matters,
on the new upgrade system drops tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Yeah, great video from Bellular. Now we know. Do everything. Do everything this week. Okay.